A very good morning to all of you. Please confirm if I'm audible. Okay. So my dear, yesterday we have started with compound interest. With simple interest, we have seen that we calculate interest only on the principal, whatever year it is, whether it is first year, second year, third year, we will calculate a certain percentage of principal. There we were solving by the formula mostly, or we were applying the proportionality. Then we moved on to the compound interest. In compound interest, we saw that interest occurs on two values. Interest on principal, that is the first interest, and interest on previous interest, that is the second value. So two interests you will have to always calculate, whether it is first year, second year, third year, whether it is first 6 month or second 6 month or third 6 month or fourth one. Two types of schemes will be there in compound interest. One scheme will be in which we will calculate every year. Every year we will calculate first year, second year, third year. Every year calculation will be done for the interest. The second scheme in the compound interest only will be compounded semi-annually, in which we will do the calculation on 6 months. Every 6 months we will take our pen and papers and we will calculate for 6 months, again 6 months, again 6 months, again 6 months, we will calculate. So one idea we have got for annually case. One idea we have got for the annually case, calculate for first year, move to the second year. Calculate for second year, then move to the third year. Calculate for third year, then calculate the final. This is what we have to do nearly in every question if it is based on calculating interest or final account balance. Then we have to do this. My dear, here nothing was mentioned that whether it is compounded annually or compounded half yearly. So by default, you will take yearly calculation by default. Let's take one more question and let's see how many of you can do it. So there is a 60% increase in an amount in 6 years. Okay. First line is related with simple interest. So keep it very simple. 60% increase in 6 years. So how much percent increase in 1 year? How much percent per year? How much percent? 10%. 60 by 6, 10%. So 10% per year, that is your rate of interest. Because 10% increasing per year, that is because of 10% per year rate of interest. All right. So they have not directly given the rate of interest. Indirectly, they have given. Indirectly. Once we have done this, we have to start with this part. What will be the compound interest of 12,000 rupees after 3 years at the same rate? Okay, so 12,000 rupees. 12,000 rupees we have to take. ₹12,000 is the starting value. We have to calculate for the first year. Then we will calculate for the second year. Then we will calculate for the third year. And finally, we will stop. Okay, so please start. First year, second year, third year. Start one by one. First year interest, second year, third year. Calculate the interest, not final balance. Only interest. Hari Babu, only interest. Don't take the principal. Om Prasad, correct. Sandhya, correct. Kirtan, correct. Okay. So first year, second year, third year, one by one, you have to calculate. So let's start with the first year. When I start, that means two things I have to see. Two things. Interest on principal and interest on previous interest. Two things. Okay. So interest on two things we have to calculate. Principal and previous interest. Okay. Rate of interest is 10%. So interest on principal is 1200 rupees plus. Do we have any previous interest when I stand here? Do we have any previous interest? Do we have? Do we have any previous interest? No. For first year, there is no previous year, right? So no previous interest, so zero, or don't write anything. Now come to the second year. Again calculate 10%. So I will calculate again 10% of principal and 10% of previous interest. So 10% of principal again will be 1200 rupees and 10% of previous interest. Do we have previous interest now? If I stand there, do we have any previous interest? So now we have, that is 1200 rupees. This is previous interest. So 10% of previous interest, you will have to write 120 rupees. 10% of 1200, 120 rupees. All right, now go to the next one. I3. Interest of third year. Again 10%. Again, I will calculate two things. Interest on principal, interest on previous interest. So principal is 12,000. 10% will be 1200. Now, when I stand here, how many values, how many numbers are previous interest? How many numbers? In this complete diagram, when you stand here, how many values are previous interest? Three numbers. First one, second one, third one. All these three numbers are interest, previous interest. So on these three numbers, write the 10%. So 1200, this 1200, 10% will be 120. Second value also 1200, 10% will be 120. Third value 12, 10% will be 12. This is the final. So total compound interest will be I1 plus I2 plus I3. This will give you the answer. So 1200, 1200, 1200 will be 3600. 120, 120, 120 will be 360 plus 12. This will give you 3960 plus 12, 72. So 3972, this way you will get. So understood this approach or not? Please carefully observe once. Okay. Try one more question. Okay. Please start with this question. In this question, we don't have to calculate the interest. Interest is already given. So what you have to do is, giving you one idea, you take 5,000 starting value, take 10%, calculate for first year, see how much interest you are getting. If interest is 1050, you will say time is 1 year. If interest is not 1050, take the second year. If you take the second year, overall interest comes out to be 1050, you will say time is 2 years. If it is not, take the third year. So like that, you have to calculate. Please start. Okay. So see, please, interest already given. In what time interest will come out to be 1050, that time is going to be your answer. So I'm taking a line. How much line do I need? I don't know. Okay, I'm taking the first year. First year, 5,000. 5,000 and 10%. Okay, please answer. Interest of first year. Interest, compound interest will be on two values, principal and previous interest. Do we have principal? Obviously, yes. Do we have any previous interest? There is no previous interest because it is first year, so there is no previous year. So 10% of principal, how much? 10% of principal, 500 rupees. Okay, 500 rupees. So now total interest, how much of 1 year? Is it 1050? No. So time is not 1 year for sure. Now take the second year. If I take the second year, again I will calculate 10%. 10% on two values, principal and previous interest. So when I stand here, I want to calculate for this. So when I stand here, I have the principal. Do I have the previous interest? Do I have previous interest now? So yes, for second year, previous year is first year. So this is your previous interest. So interest of second year comes out to be 10% of principal, 500, plus 10% of previous interest, that is 50. Okay. Now total, how much? Is it 1050 overall? Is it? So yes. So total comes out to be 1050. It implies time is 2 years. Because in 2 years, the value is matching the value given in the question. So 2 years. Suppose I am saying, suppose the value is not 500. The value is not 1050. The value is between 500 and 1050. What will you do? What will you say? Let's take one more option, 1.5 years. 1.5 years. What will you say now? Interest is greater than 500 but less than 1050. What is the meaning of this? It is not 1 year. It is not 2 years. It is not after 2 years. It is below 2 years but more than 1 year. So that means 1.5 years. So this way we can mark the options. Okay. But anyways, it is not present. So D option 2 years is correct. Now the same way, my dear, we have to calculate for the semi-annually also. All right. So first, understand the question. 10,000 rupees, Ratika has bought a certificate. I mean, actually, it is a certificate of deposit. Ratika has deposited something somewhere, a kind of an investment. That investment is for 1 year. This 1 year actually is the lock-in period. Lock-in period means that 10,000 she cannot withdraw for 1 year. After 1 year, she can withdraw. Okay. So 10,000 rupees deposited somewhere, invested somewhere at 8%, 8% compounded semi-annually. Okay, semi-annually. Okay, semi-annually means we have to calculate for 6 months. We have to calculate for 1 year because she has invested for 1 year. 1 year is the lock-in period. After 1 year, that means at maturity, how much interest will be paid? Only the interest, not the complete amount. So please try this question, but calculation will be for 6 months, not 1 year. So let's see what you do. Calculation for 6 months, not 1 year. 6 month rate of interest, 1 year rate of interest will be different. Divyasri correct, Sumant correct. Jaswant not correct. Time is 1 year. You have to calculate for 6 months. All right. See, please. You have to start with the invested or deposited value. That is 10,000 rupees. Okay. After this, we have to take 6 month, again take again 6 month. So 2 times I will have to take 6 month. So 6 month, again calculate for 6 month. All right. So total time is 1 year. That's why 2 times I have written the 6 month. Now, after this, I want to see the rate of interest. But when I say rate of interest, now rate of interest for 6 month I want, because I want to calculate for 6 month. So I don't want per annum. Per annum is annual rate. I want for 6 month. 8%. Should I calculate 8%? Should I calculate 8%? Is it right? No. 8% you will take if it is 1 year, because 8% is annual rate, that is per annum. So you will not take 8%, you will take 8 by 2%, that is 4%. 4% per 6 month. So 4% you will calculate. All right. How to calculate 4%? Please understand this. Suppose there is a value 10,000. I want to calculate 1% of this. 1%. So for 1%, think the same value and remove two zeros. So for 10%, remove two zeros, as simple as this. Two zeros you have to remove, you will get 1% value. So 1% of this will come out to be I1. That means first calculation. It is not interest of first year. Okay. So the first calculation, first interest will be 4% of this, 4% of principal. 4% we'll see later. First see 1%. 1% how much? 1%, 10,000. How much? 100 rupees. So 4% will be 4 times. So 400 rupees. Do we have any previous interest? When you stand there, do you have previous interest? No, there is no previous interest. Now come to the next period of 6 months. So second interest calculation. Okay, stand here please. Again calculate 4%. Two calculations we will have to do. Interest on principal, interest on previous interest. Two calculations always. So interest on principal, 400 again. Interest on previous interest. Previous interest is 400 rupees. So don't tell me 4%, tell me 1%. 1% how much? 400. 1%. 1% is remove two zeros, 4 rupees. So 4% will be 4 into 4, that is 16 rupees. So this is your interest on previous interest, 16 rupees. So overall compound interest comes out to be 400 plus 400 plus 16. So 816. 816 rupees, that is your answer. So whether it is half yearly or semi-annually or annually, the calculations are similar. The only difference is here we are calculating for 6 months, there we calculate for 1 year. This is the only difference. Please try one more question for confidence. Okay, please start. It is 1.5 year. Okay. If it is not clearly visible, it is 1.5 year. Okay. So 473 is correct. It is not exactly 473. It is 472 point something you will get. So 3000 rupees is your starting value. I have to calculate for 6 months, again 6 months, again 6 months, 1.5 year. So 1.5 year we have to take. Okay, so let's take 6 months. Again 6 months. Again 6 months. All right, so 3 times we have to calculate for 6 months. 3 times. So interest of the first period. The first thing is you don't have to take 10%. You will have to take half of 10% because it is half yearly. It is half yearly, so half of 10%, that is 5%. 5% per 6 month. So take 5%, again 5%, again 5%. Now 5% you can calculate in 2 ways. 5% is 5 times of 1%, or we can say 5% is 10% and half. Half of 10% or 5 times of 1%. Both ways, I cannot say whether this is better or this is better. It depends on the value. Okay. So two things we can apply to calculate 5%. Okay. So please carefully answer. What is 1% of this? 1% of 3000. How much? 1%. Remove 2 zeros, 30. So 5% will be 30 into 5, 150. 1% 30, 5% will be 5 times. Okay, let's come to the second one. Okay, so when I stand here, I have to calculate 5% of principal and 5% of previous interest. 5% of principal always will be 150. Always. Now, previous interest. Previous interest, do we have? Do we have previous interest? Yes, we have. Okay. So, tell me 10% of this. 10%. 15. So 5% will be half. Half of 15, how much? 7.5. So 7.5. All right, let's come to this. Okay. You can write plus sign, or even if you don't write, it is obvious. Okay. So third year. Sorry, third period. Okay, 5% of principal. Again, it will be same 150 rupees. Okay, previous interest. When you stand here, how many previous interest numbers do you see? How many numbers? 3 numbers. 1, count it as 1 and 2 separate. Okay, so 1, 2 and 3. So 3 numbers are there. Those 3 numbers, they are 5% you have to write. First number 150, 5% will be how much? 7.5. Second number 150, again 5% will be 7.5. Third number is 7.5. 5% will be how much? Okay. Just answer something. Don't take 7.5. Just answer 7. 5% of 1% of 7 or 10% of 7. How much? 10%. 10% of 7, 0.7. So 5% will be how much? 0.35. My dear, if I don't take, it will be around 0.35, approximate I'm saying. If I don't take such a small value, will my answer be affected very much? If I don't take such a small value, 0.35. So can I leave it? Can I leave it or not? 35 paisa. Can I leave it or not? Yes. So what I'm saying is, just think for a moment. 5% of 7.5. Very small value. So if it is very small value, leave it. Okay. That's why I've written leave it. Don't calculate. Okay. So let's see how much I will get. 150, 150, 150 comes out to be 450. 7.5, 7.5 comes out to be 15. Then 7.5, one more 7.5 is there. So 7.5. So approximately, because I'm not taking this, approximately 465 plus 7, 472.5. So approximately this, a little bit higher will be the answer. Little bit, very little bit. We have not taken 0.3, so around 472.8 will be the answer. So approximately A option is correct. Is this point clear or not? Please carefully see. 5% of 150. 10% of 150 is 15. Yes. 5% of 150. Is there any disturbance in the voice? Please confirm this. Any disturbance in the voice? No. Just tell now, is it better than the previous? Is it better than the previous? I've changed some settings, just wanted to confirm. Is it better? Okay, it's clear from the starting. All right. So I've changed some setting in the Zoom. So just let me know if this is better than the previous one. Okay. And one more clarification I want. Previously, I was using some other Zoom ID. There, I was thinking, it seems to me from the experience that their clarity was not that good. Is it better in this meeting? Previously, it was not good, right? Previously, the first week. Yes, there was a problem with that ID. Okay. All right. Okay, voice is low. Just one, can you join once again? Because disturbance, only you are seeing. Rest of the students are not seeing disturbance. Can you join once again? All right. So, my dear, if you recall how we got I1 150. My dear, we have to calculate 5%. So, there are two ways. One way is calculate 1%, multiply by 5. The second way is calculate 10%, then divide by 2, because 10 by 2 is 5, 5 into 1 is 5. So if I start from here, 1% of this, how much? 1% of 3000. 1% of 3000, 30. Okay. If 1% is 30, so 5% will be 5 times. So 30 into 5, how much? 150. This is the first way. If you go by the second way, that means this one, you will calculate 10%. So what is 10% of 3000? 10%. Vaishnavi, 10%. Vaishnavi, 10%, how much, Vaishnavi? Vaishnavi is lost. Vaishnavi, are you there? Yes, I'm asking 10% of 3000. How much? For 10%, you have to remove one zero. For 1%, you have to remove two zeros. So 10%, 300. So 5% will be half of 300, that is 150. So both ways we can calculate. Okay. Now, next one. Okay, see the question. What do you think? What is the principle? Some values are given. What do you think? What is principle? 10,000. Okay, 10,000 is principle. Whenever there are two values, the lesser value is going to be the principal always. Okay, 10,000 principal. At what rate of interest? Rate of interest means percentage per annum. Please carefully answer. I know the principal, 10,000. But I don't know any percentage. Any percentage I don't know. So will this method be useful? Will this method be useful? I don't know any percentage given. So what percentage will I calculate? 1%, 2%, 3%, 3%, 4%, 5%. I don't know. So this method is now useless for this question. My dear, this method is useful. This one is useful whenever principal is given and rate of interest is given. If anything is not given, it is useless. So when it becomes useless, then we will have to calculate using the formula. Mostly, I'm saying, when we have a question which can be done only by the formula, there you will have to kind of think this way. Because power is there in the formula, that's why most of the times you will see 2 years or at max 3 years, at max. So right now we have 2 years because the person who designs the question, he knows the calculation will be difficult if he takes 4 years, 5 years, 6 years like that. So amount equals to principal. 1 plus r by 100 to the power n. If it is compounded half yearly case, then only in that case, be cautious. Okay, be careful. If nothing is mentioned, that means it is compounded annually case, compounded yearly case, then you need not be careful. You can just write the values. Chances of mistake is hardly 0.5%. So let me write the values. Principal is 10,000. Okay. Amount is after 2 years, the final balance will be 12100. Final balance. Now 1 plus r by 100. Rate of interest is not given. Now time is given as 2 years. So n value will be 2 years. This is what we have. Okay, I need to simplify this. I need to simplify this. Okay. So cancel 0, 0, 0, 0. After this 100, you write it there. What is the reason you will understand? One plus r by 100 square. So you have taken 100 there so that the unknown part comes on the right side. This is the unknown part. I don't know this. So the unknown values on the right side, the known values on the left side. Now carefully answer. Will you expand this formula a plus b whole square? Will you expand it? A square plus b square plus 2ab. Will you do this? Would you do this? No. It will make a quadratic equation. Then you will solve the quadratic equation. Why to make quadratic equation? Not required. So what I'm saying is, take this square on the other side. When you take square or anything on other side of the equation, the operation becomes opposite. So my dear, this is a square. Any square on right side will become a square root on the left side. So square becomes a square root on the other side. And square root of 121 is 11. And square root of 100 is 10. And this part is 1 plus r by 100. Now please solve this. How much will you get? R equals to 10 you will get. Okay. So you will take first minus 1 there. After that you will multiply by 100, then you will get 10%. Okay. So 11 by 10 minus 1 will be 1 by 10. 1 by 10, then you will multiply by 100. After cross multiplication, you will get 10%. So 10% is your answer. Very simple question. Okay. So why did we not apply the previous approach? Because rate of interest was not given. So the previous approach becomes automatically useless. Okay. So that's why the formula. Let's take one more question. Okay. Please take. All right. So please start with the question. I have written something for your clarity, for easiness. Bharat, are you asking the final equation how to solve? Can you clarify later? I mean, in the last of the class, I will clarify, okay? It will take 1 minute. Please try this question first. Okay, one more hint I am giving you. Only for calculation purpose, 17 cube is 4913. And 16 cube is 4096. Okay. Now, why I have written this, you will understand once you write the values in the formula. These two values becomes important whenever 6 whole 1 by 4% comes. Whenever. So that's why these two cubes are important. Their squares also will become important. Okay, 4096. All right. So applying the formula, amount equals to principal 1 plus r by 100 to the power n. It is compounded annually, so we need not be careful. We can just put the values. So principal is not given, final amount is given. The principal that amounts to, I've told you this, amounts to, that means future. In future, the account balance will be this. So future balance 4913. Principal is unknown. 1 plus R value is 6 whole 1 by 4, so 25 by 4. 25 by 4 is R value and divided by 100. So write 100 in the denominator, that means divide by 100. Time is 3 years, so n value 3. This is what we have to solve. My dear, whatever this value is, it doesn't matter. If R value is 25 by 4, 25 by 4, this part will come out as 17 by 16. Okay, 17 by 16 always. So that's why if time is 3, I will have to see 17 cube and 16 cube. If time is 2 years, I will have to see 17 square and 16 square. But yes, whenever this number comes, then 17 and 16, their powers, maybe it is cube, maybe it is power 2, will become important. So in this case, cube is there, so cube becomes important. So 4913 P, and simplify this 25 into 4, 25 into 1. 1 plus 1 by 16. This will come out to be 17 by 16. So 4913 equals to P 17 by 16 cube. So 17 cube by 16 cube. Now since I have said that both are same value, so they will cancel out each other. Okay, they will cancel out each other and this 16 cube will go into cross multiply to give you P value 16 cube 4096. Okay, so this becomes your answer for this question. So please remember this. Whenever this number comes in the rate of interest, you will definitely get 17 and 16 for sure. Always. Okay, so anything which is doubtful, confirm please. Okay, first let us tell you this question. All right. So, my dear, in compound interest and in simple interest, there is a pattern. Some pattern is for compound interest and some pattern is for simple interest. For compound interest, first something will be given to you. Something. So in this case, there is a sum of money. It will triple in 3 years. That is what they have given. Triple in 3 years. Okay. So take any number. For example, I am taking 1 rupees. So 1 rupee will become triple 3 rupees in 3 years. This is what they have given. Now, don't think 3 times in 3 years always. It can be 3 times in 4 years. It can be 3 times in 5 years also. So don't think it will always be same. No. Right now in this question, it is same. So 3 times in 3 years. The same thing will repeat again and again. Same thing. So what I am saying is, it will again triple in next 3 years. It will again triple in next 3 years. This is the pattern you will observe in compound interest. It will again triple in next 3 years. This is what is the structure, the pattern of compound interest. So 1 into 3 is 3, 3 into 3 is 9, 9 into 3 is 27 rupees, and 27 into 3, 81 rupees. This will continue till infinity. All right. But they are asking for 9 years. So 3 plus 3 plus 3. In 9 years, how much the value will become? In 9 years, how much? 27 times. So 27 times, D option will become correct. Now carefully observe one more thing. It is important for future planning. In future, you will listen to one word, which is the magic of compounding. Okay, you will listen to this. What is the magic of compounding is can be kind of realized just from this very simple example. Okay. Now don't take 1 rupees, take 1 lakh rupees so that it seems a little bit higher. Okay. Otherwise 1 rupee and 27 rupees, nobody cares, right? So 1 lakh rupees. 1 lakh rupees will become 3 lakh rupees. Okay, 1 lakh becomes 3 lakh rupees. So how much is the interest, please answer, of this 3 years? How much will be the interest of these 3 years? How much will you say? How much? Final minus initial. How much is the difference? 2 lakh rupees. Okay, 2 lakh rupees. Now leave this. Come to the next 3 years. 3 lakh rupees will become 9 lakh rupees in 3 years. What is the compound interest of these 3 years? What is the compound interest of these 3 years? Not 8 lakhs. Don't say 9 minus 1. I'm not saying from this up to this. I'm saying only this part. How much? 9 minus 3, 6 lakh rupees. Okay, 6 lakh rupees. Now, take this 3 years of period. So how much is the compound interest of this 3 years period? How much? 18 rupees. 18 lakh rupees. All right. How much is the compound interest of the last 3 years, which I have written over here? How much? 81 minus 27. How much? 54. All right. Now carefully observe. Time is 3 years only. 3 years interest, 2 lakh rupees. Interest is not changing. I mean, rate of interest. Rate of interest, I don't know. Whatever it is. Suppose it is X%. Rate of interest is not changing. But even then, see the structure of compound interest. 3 years, you will get 2 lakh rupees. But when you see the next 3 years, you will get 6 lakh rupees. When you see the next 3 years, you will not get 6 lakh rupees, you will get 18 lakh rupees. And when you see the next 3 years, you will see 54 lakh rupees. So are you observing this huge difference is what is called as the magic of compounding. That 1 rupee will become 27 or even 81 in just a span of 12 years. This is what is called as magic of compounding. Why magic word is used is because we are not able to accept this. That's why magic word is used. Okay. So what happens is the compound interest of 3 years will also become 3 times. 2 into 3, 6. 6, 3, 18. 18, 3, 54. 54 into 3 will become like 1 crore something it will become. Okay. So this is what is magic of compounding. Okay. So understood this, all of you? And this happens only because you get interest on interest. That's why this happens. Understood, all of you? All right. So my dear, one formula is CI equals to, sorry. One formula we have seen with compound interest is amount equals to principal 1 plus R by 100 to the power n. If after this we have to calculate compound interest, we will say amount minus principal will be the compound interest. With simple interest, we have seen simple interest is P into R into T divided by 100. Now, we have to now take a comparison. When I say comparison, the terms and conditions must be same. That's how you compare, okay? So comparison must be fair. For a fair comparison, I should take the same conditions for simple interest and same conditions for compound interest. Same condition, what it means, understand please. I should take the same principal. I should take the same rate of interest. And I should take the same time period. Same time period. Whatever it is, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, time should be same. Then only you should compare. All right. Just carefully answer. Which of the two values, simple interest, compound interest, which of the two values will be higher? Which of the two values will be higher? Answer that. Which of the two values will be higher? Compound interest, always. Okay. So compound interest is always higher. But how much? If it is higher, how much higher it is? How much extra it is? So how much higher? I'm asking this. CI minus SI. So comparison means now I will try to see the difference or calculate the difference. For that, for SI comparison, I'm taking one case which is important for us when the time is 2 years. Now don't say, sir, why not 3 years? My dear, 2 years is important, so we are taking 2 years. Okay, for 2 years, there is a formula that CI minus SI, this value will be equal to rate of interest divided by 100 square into P. This is what you will observe. Okay. So this is your formula for the comparison. Comparison means difference. Okay. So the difference of CI/SI will be equal to this. We just need to put the values. We will get our answer. Okay. Now, they might ask anything like, they might ask you what is CI minus SI. They might ask you what is CI. They might ask you what is SI. So, my dear, this is the formula. This formula will be applied whenever there is a comparison question of CI, SI and time is 2 years. But which value they will ask, that we'll see in the question. It can be CI also, SI also, principal also, rate of interest also. But yes, the formula will be applied whenever there is a comparison type of situation. Okay, now let's move on to the question. Very interesting questions will be there based on this. Okay, carefully read carefully. Anil invested an amount for 2 years. Okay, time is 2 years. At the rate of 15%. Okay, time is 2 years. Rate is 15%. How much principal? I think not given. Okay, at simple interest. Had he invested in a scheme in which interest was compounded yearly, that means if he had invested under compound interest, he would have got 450 rupees more. What is the meaning of more? Yes, 2 year fixed. What is the meaning of more? Will you say this is compound interest? Will you say that? Will you say it is compound interest? No. If more word is not there, then I can say, okay, it is compound interest. What is the meaning of more? More or less, anything, anywhere, if you see, it means a difference. So, suppose, think it this way. I invested somewhere, I am getting 100 rupees. The question says, if I had invested in a scheme which is compound interest, I would have got 450 rupees more. That means 550 rupees. So, my dear, difference of the two values is given 450. What is simple interest? I don't know. What is compound interest? I don't know. But what is their difference? That I know. So, CI minus SI is given. Okay. So, let me write this. Principal is unknown. CI minus SI is given as 450. So, let's apply the formula. CI minus SI equal to R by 100 square into P. CI minus SI value is 450. Rate of interest is 15. So 15 square will be 15 into 15 and 100 square will be 100 into 100 multiplied by P. So 15 into 30 and 15 into 2. All right. Now this 100 will go there is in cross multiply. So I will get the P value as 20,000 rupees. So this way, just if we apply the formula, we can get the principal. So why we applied this formula? Because it is not based on compound interest. It is not based on simple interest. It is based on comparison. So for comparison, this is the formula. Okay. And please remember this one more thing. Whenever difference is given, compound interest not given, simple interest not given, whenever difference is given, then 100% apply the formula. That is the best approach. So understood this, where to apply the formula? All right. Now, next question. Please take your time. It is a very interesting question. Interesting because of two reasons. In this part, it is a comparison of simple and compound interest. After that, it is completely compound interest question. So from the first part, you have to calculate the principal. Once you calculate the principal, using that principal, after 3 years, you will calculate the final account balance. Okay, so two calculation you will have to do. For the first one, apply the CI minus SI formula. And for this one, you will have to draw this diagram first year, then take second year, then take third year and calculate. So please start, take your time. Try to do it in around 1.5 to 2 minute maximum. Nagalakshmi, correct? Divyasri, correct? Calculation will be difficult. Okay, it will be difficult because it is 12%. That's why. All right. Carefully see now. First thing is difference between compound interest, simple interest is 90 rupees. Rate of interest 12%. Time is 2 years. Because the time is 2 years, I can apply the formula. Okay. So Ci minus Si equal to R by 100 whole square into P. Ci minus Si is given as 90. Rate of interest is 12. So 12 into 12 by 100 into 100 into P. Now 4 into 3, 4 into 25. 4 into 3, 4 into 25. 3 into 3, 9, 9 into 10. 25 into 25, 625 into 10, 6250. So I will get the principal as 6250. Okay, 6250, that is your principal. Okay. Now, after this, we have to go to the next calculation. So first part, this part is done. This part, if you apply the formula, you will get the principal, nothing else you will get. When I go to the next part, I will take the principal 6250 and I will calculate first year and second year and third year. So 3 years I will calculate. So first year, second year, third year. All right. Just carefully answer. You have already done the question. What do you think? Calculation is easy or simple? Calculation easy or simple? I mean, sorry, easy or difficult? My mistake. Calculation is easy or difficult? All right. For example, if I ask you 10% of this, how much? 10%. 10%, how much? 625. Okay. If I ask you 12%, how much? Can you answer in 2 seconds? 10%, 625. Can you answer the same thing for 12%? In 2 seconds, can you answer? No. So my dear, calculation is not that simple because it is not 10%. 10% is simple, 12% is not that simple. Okay. Because it is not simple, let me calculate all the values separately. 6250, I will calculate 12%. Again, whatever value comes, I will again calculate 12%. Whatever value comes, I will again calculate 12%. 3 times I will do it. Okay, so all the rough work, I'm not saying I'm solving there. I'm not saying that. This and this diagram is not same. I'm saying calculation I will do there. Once I'm done with the calculation, I will just write the values there. Okay, and why 3 times? 12%, 12%, 12%? Because time is 1, 2, 3, 3 years. Now you have to answer me. Carefully tell. 12% we'll see later. First you tell me 10%. First answer 10%. How much is 10% of this? 625. Okay. 625. This is 10%. Now answer, what is 1% of this? 1%. 1%, 62.5. Put the decimal after 2 place, 62.5. So 2% will be twice of 62.5. Now carefully see, what I have done is 10% plus twice of 1% is 12%. This is what we have done. Now you can calculate this easily. What is the answer of this? Please calculate this. How much it comes out? 125 plus 625, 750. Okay, 750. It comes out to be 750. Now calculate 12% of 750. Don't calculate 12% directly, even though it is possible. 12% of 750, write it this way, 12 by 100 into 750, calculate it. You will get. But I am saying don't do it this way, do it this way. First tell me 10%, you will say sir 75. Tell me 1%, you will say sir 7.5. So 2% will be twice. So overall 90. So tell me 10%, tell me 1%, then tell me 2%. 10%, 2% will be 90. Is this method clear or not? The way we are doing the 12% calculation, 10%, 1%, twice of 1%, total 12%. Is this clear? Please carefully see. Okay. Now please answer. Next one. 90. What is 10%? What is 10%? 9. Okay. What is 1%? Sujit, twice, because twice of 1% will be 2%. Okay. We are calculating 1%, but we have to take 2%. So twice. Okay. So 0.9 is 1%. So twice will be twice of, 2% will be twice. So 9 is 10%. 1% is 0.9. Now 10% and twice of 1% will make it 12%. 10% plus twice of 1% will make it 12%. So this comes out to be 10.8. All right. So all the calculations have been done. Okay. Once these calculations are done, I will come to this. Now I will see from there, write the values here. Okay. So now you will tell me from there. Okay. Carefully answer. Interest, in compound interest, we have to calculate two interest. Interest on principal and interest on previous interest. So what is 12% of principal? Please answer. See from there. 12% of 6250. How much? 12% of 6250 is 750. So 750 we have to write. Okay. Do we have any previous interest also? Do we have any previous interest also? No, we don't have. Okay. Let's come to this. Interest of second. Okay, stand here, please. Answer. Again, I have to calculate 12%. So 12% of principal will not change. It will be 7. Okay, 12% of principal I have written. Do we have previous interest also? Do we have? When you stand here, do we have any previous interest? Yes. Okay. So 12%. 12% of previous interest, 750. Please look there, answer please. How much? 90 rupees. 12% of 750 is 90 rupees. Okay, so 90 rupees. All right. Come to the next one. I3. All right. So again 12%. 12% of principal, I will write same value. 750. All right. When you stand here, how many previous interest do you observe? 3 numbers. Okay, don't say 2. 1, 2, and 3. Three numbers you are observing. Okay, don't count it as one. One number, second one, third one. Okay, 12% of the first number. What will you say? First number. 12%, 750, 90. Okay, 90. 12% again 750, so again 90. And 12% of 90, how much? 10.8. Okay, don't write plus sign, time waste. Okay, don't write the plus sign. All right, so this all is your interest. What they are asking is, what is the final balance? So final balance means everything must be added, then you will get the final account balance. So let's see. Okay, add these two values. You will get 7,000. 750 will be 1,500 rupees. So 7,000 plus 1,500 rupees, 1,500 rupees will be 8,500 rupees. Now 90, 90 and 90 will be 270. So 8,500 plus 270 will be how much? 8, just a minute, yes. So it will be 8,750, right? 270, 8,770. So 8,770 becomes the value after counting all this, and 10.8 will make it as 8,780.8. Okay. So try to do it this way. Try to calculate 12% this way. It will be more easy to calculate. 6250. We calculated principal now previously. We calculated principal first. From the first part of the question, we calculated principal. Then we are calculating this for the second part of the question. Okay, Darshan? Okay, before the third year, for him, Firdaus Fareed, before the third year, how many times do you see 750? Before the third year? 2 times. So 2 times you will have to write 90. Okay, if you observe 3 times, write 3 times. If you observe 4 times, write 4 times. Yes, Yashoda, this is what I'm saying. You are observing 750, again 750. So 750, 12% is 90. If you observe 2 times, you will write 2 times. One for this and one for this. Okay. All right. Please take care of your attendance in the chat box. I've shared the link. All right. Now, three very interesting questions I will take. Okay, very interesting questions. Based on similar pattern, but is not exactly 100% same. Similar, but not exactly same. We'll start with this question. So carefully observe. If the simple interest on a certain sum of money for 2 years at 5% per annum is 50 rupees. Okay. So simple interest is given as 50 rupees. Principal is unknown. Rate of interest is 5%. Time is 2 years. Okay. Now, what they are asking is, what is compound interest? What is compound interest? Okay, on the same sum at the same rate for the same time. Same sum, that means same principal. Same rate, that means 5%. And same time, that is 2 years. All right. There are three ways I can explain this. First, leave about compound interest, apply the simple interest formula and tell me how much principal you will get. How much? Calculate please. How much principal you will get? Apply the formula. Okay, simple interest 50 rupees, principal unknown, rate of interest 5, time is 2 divided by 100. Okay, so 10 and 0 will cancel out, then 500. Principal I will get as 500. Now take the principal, take the time 2 years and calculate compound interest. So 500 rupees, 5%, 2 years. How much compound interest you will get? Please calculate. 5%. 5%. How much will you get? 25 for the first year. Second year, this is first year. This is second year. First year, you will get 5%. 5% is 10% by 2. 10% is 50, so 5% is half of 50. Second year, 5% of principal will be same, 25. Now 5% of this. 10% how much? 10% of 25. 10%. How much? 25. I want to see 5% of previous interest. So 10% how much? First answer 2.5. So 5% will be half. Half of 2.5 how much? 1.25. So 1.25. So this is your compound interest. Okay, this is the first way. My dear, without calculating the principal also, I can do this. I will tell you later. The second way, let me tell you now. The second way is this. Ci minus Si equal to R by 100 square times of P. What is Ci? I don't know. Simple interest I know 50. A rate of interest is 5. So 5 into 5, 5 square. And 100 into 100 is 100 square into P. Okay. Now carefully answer. P value is, I know. So P value is 500. Okay, 0, 0, 0, 0 cancel. Okay, please carefully answer what this value will come out. Don't cancel anything. Keep divide by 100 only. What this value will come out? This one, right side. 150, not 150. 125. 5 into 5 into 5. So 125 divided by 100. That means 1.25. So you will get 1.25. This 50 will go there to give you compound interest as 50 plus 1.25. So 51.25. Okay. But yes, first you will have to calculate the principal. Otherwise, you cannot calculate. You should have the principal. So this is the second way. Okay. So carefully see until now, anything doubtful? Until now. Anything doubtful? All right. Next. This is the second way. This was the previous method. Okay, previous method we calculated compound interest the way we have always done. The second way was we applied the CI minus SI comparison formula because time was 2 years. Okay, and that way we calculated. Okay, let's see the next way, which is the best way. This calculation is not required. My dear, they have given the simple interest. For simple interest, we have not drawn the diagram, but for simple interest also we can calculate this way. So first year, second year. How much is principal? I don't know. I don't want to calculate also. Without calculating principal, let's see how to do it. Okay. So rate of interest is 5%. 5%. 5%. All right. First, I want to think only simple interest. My dear, simple interest is always on the principal. Always. Okay, simple interest is always only on the principal, nothing else. There is no previous interest concept there. Okay, so 50 rupees interest for first and second year overall. So how much for the first year? How much for the second year? Separately answer. Tell me please, how much simple interest for first year? How much for second year? How much? 50 rupees for 2 years. How much for first year? How much for second year? Simple interest, not compound. Same. But don't say same, sir, 50-50. Don't say 50-50. Say, sir, half of 50, half of 50. Equally divided. Okay. Okay. So 25 rupees for the first year and 25 for the second year. All of you agree with me? Carefully see. 25 for first, 25 for second. Same. Right? Okay. In compound interest, will it be more or will it be less? Compound interest. Will it be more or less? More. Okay. What is this value? This is interest on principal. Okay. What is this value? It is interest on principal. So my dear, interest on principal, I have already written. I want to now write interest on previous interest. I want to now write interest on previous interest, and this way it will become compound interest. Interest on principal already written. That is what we get in simple interest. So please answer, when you stand here, what is the interest on previous interest? What is the interest on previous interest? Nothing, sir. There is no previous interest. So say 0. Okay. Now answer. Stand here, please, and tell me what is the previous interest. When you stand here, what is the previous interest? 25. So 25. So 25 on 25, you will get 5%. But not in simple interest, in the case of compound interest. So this will come out to be 1.25. And this total comes out to be 25 plus 25 plus 1.25. So 51.25. So my dear, 25 is interest on principal. Already we know what is the interest on principal. What we need to write is what is the interest on previous interest. Once you write interest on previous interest, interest on previous interest, you will get your compound interest also. Understood this, all of you? Please confirm. Now let's take one practice question. All right. My dear, I'm giving you the simple interest. Conditions are same, principal same, rate of interest same, time same. So simple interest given, calculate compound interest. 3% is the rate of interest. Start please. Hmm. 6.9. How come 6.9? What are you guys calculating? 6.09. How 6.09? And what is it? How can it be less than compound interest? I mean, simple interest. Simple interest is 100 rupees, not 50. Okay. All right. Simple interest, 100 rupees. So that means it will be equally divided. So 50 rupees for first year, 50 rupees for second year. Okay. As per the concept, as per the concept of simple interest, we get interest on principal. We get interest on principal. So interest on principal is already written already. What we have to write is now compound interest. In compound interest, we get two things. One is interest on principal, which is already written. One is interest on previous interest. What is the interest on previous interest? Please answer that. How much? Interest on previous interest. There is no previous interest, so zero. Okay. Here also, interest on principal is already written 50. What is the interest on previous interest? How much? Interest on previous interest. How come 3 rupees? My dear, it is 3%. 1% will be 0.5. Okay, 1%. 1% will be 0.5. 50. 3%. 3% of 50 will be 3 by 100 times of 50. So 1% will be 0.5 times, or you can calculate this way also. So 53, 150 by 100 is 1.5. So 1.5. So total compound interest comes out to be 50 plus 50 plus 1.5. Okay, this gives you 101.5. But dear, please don't apply this formula. Don't apply this formula now. I've told you this trick now. If I have told you this, that means do it this way only. This question also, do it the same way. Do it the same way. Okay. Don't apply Ci minus Si formula. A little bit calculations will be difficult there. Okay. Don't calculate principal. Pradeep, please wait. Okay. All right. Now carefully see. Going from simple interest to compound interest is very simple. Okay. But going just opposite is difficult. Now, actually, I have done 50% of the next question. I will take one more question and then we'll start with the next two questions. Solve one more question. Just let me see the numbers. Okay, so we have 500 rupees. 500 rupees. It is 10%. 10%. Please calculate the compound interest. Start, please. 500 rupees is your simple interest. 10% is the rate of interest. What will be the corresponding compound interest? 525. Okay. So what you will say is, sir, 500 for 2 years. So for first year, 250. For second year also 250. Then I will say, what is this 250? It is interest on principal. If I ask you what is 250, you will say, sir, interest on principal. And why so? Because simple interest is interest on principal only. Now, when I say compound interest, you have to write principal, interest on principal also and interest on previous interest also. When I calculate compound interest for the second year, I need to write interest on principal, which is already written, and interest on previous interest. So my dear, interest on principal is already written because I know the simple interest. I just need to write the interest on previous interest. So there is no previous interest, so write 0. There is previous interest. When you stand here, 250 is previous interest. So 10% of previous interest, 250. So that is 25. Okay, don't say, sir, why not 10% of this? My dear, 10% of principal already written. You need not write again. It is already there. So 25. Overall, it comes out to be 250 plus 250 plus 25. 525. All right. Whatever questions, 3 questions we have done. In all the 3 questions, we calculated simple interest to compound interest. We calculated compound interest when simple interest was given to us. My dear, going opposite is not even possible. Okay, going opposite. This way I'm saying. It is not possible to calculate this, to calculate simple interest from 525 this way. Because compound interest is different for first year, different for second year. Different for first year 250 rupees and different for second year 275 rupees. Simple interest is equal in first and second year. So it is simple. Simple interest to compound interest calculation simple. But going opposite is difficult. Or let me say this way, it is not possible. So what we have to do in that case is carefully understand now. I have taken a question, 3%, 2 years, 100 rupees simple interest I have taken. Can you understand why did I take 100 rupees simple interest? Why so? Can you understand? Let me write that. Take that question. Carefully see. I took the opposite question. Simple interest given, we calculated compound interest. But actually, the question is compound interest 101.5. What is simple interest? I took the opposite question. Why so? I'm saying solution is this only. I'm saying solution is this only. So, carefully answer, please. Solution is this only. So, from where did I take simple interest as 100 rupees? From where can I take? From where did I take 100 rupees? Because it is not given. So, from where did I take? Options. Okay, options. So, I took 100 from the option. Why not this? Why not 90? Why not 95.5? Why only 100? Please answer. There are other options also. So there must be some reason I have taken 100. So why so? No base value, no. Simple interest, how is it base value? My dear, don't think 100 is always base value. Don't think that. Okay. Everything is less than compound interest. A, B, C, D option or are less. So why so? Understand, please. My dear, I know it personally that it is impossible to calculate simple interest from compound interest. So what I will do is I will take one option. For each option, I will calculate the compound interest. For each option, I will calculate the compound interest because it is easy. Simple interest to compound interest easy. Compound to simple interest difficult. So that's why I will go by the option. Whichever option gives me the compound interest of 101.5, that is the right option. But the point is why I will take 100. Why I will not take A option, C option, D option? Why not that? So understand. The first thing is simple interest is always going to be less than compound interest. So 101.5 is the compound interest. So simple interest is going to be less than 101.5 for sure. But please carefully answer. Simple interest is going to be less. But how much? How much? Will it be 50 rupees less? Will it be 100 rupees less? Will it be 80 rupees less? So get an idea. My dear, rate is 3%. 3%, my dear, is very small percentage. 3% is very small. 8%, 10% we can say sufficient, but 3% is very small. 2 years, a very small time. 5 years, 6 years, I can say a very big time, but 2 years is very small. Okay, a very small interest, very small time period. Will there be very much difference? Please answer between CI, SI in a very small time period. Will there be huge difference? No. So no huge difference. So carefully answer. What is the closest value? And not closest. I will say two aspects. Closest value and calculation friendly also. Closest and calculation friendly. 100. So I will take 100. First, I will take 100 and I will calculate this. If 100 gives me 101.5, I will say option is correct. If not, I will go to the next option. Next option, I will not take 90 or 95.5. I will take 98.25 because it is closest. That's why. But anyways, we have got our answer. So if you take simple interest of 100, then you will get the compound interest of 101.5. So going opposite is not practical. It is very difficult. We cannot do it. But yes, using the machines, we can do it. But we have to take the help of the option. Any option which gives you 101.5 as the compound interest, that is the right option. Understood or not? Please confirm this. See, please. We will not go opposite. We will go in the same direction, but we will take the help of the options. Okay, let's take one more question. Just the last one. We have already solved it. Okay. So compound interest is already given. Already given. They are asking the simple interest. So going opposite is not possible. Calculating simple from compound is not possible. Okay. So 525 is your compound interest. Simple interest will be less. How much less? How much less? Will you say, is it possible 600 and 800? Is it possible? Can it be more than 525, the simple interest? No. Simple interest is always less. So 600, 800 is not even possible. Okay, so two options are possible. 400 is very far from this because rate of interest is 10%. Okay, not too less, but time is only 2 years. In 2 years, you will not see huge difference. A difference of 125 you will not see in 2 years. So it is not 400. You have to start with 500, and 500 will give you 525 compound interest. So that's why it is correct. And how it will give you? You have already solved. 500 will give you 525. So understood or not? Please confirm this. That how to calculate compound interest if simple interest is given to us, but terms and conditions must be same. Rate of interest same, time same, and principal same. Then we do it. Okay. There is one homework for you in this question. Even though the condition is not same, principal is same sum, but time is double, rate is half. Even though the complete three conditions are there, principal, rate, and time. Principal is same, but time is not same. Time is double. Rate is not same. Rate is half. Even then, I will say 500 is the answer. So you have to research on this, that why, even though time is double, rate is half, why the answer is still same. Okay. So with this, I'm concluding the class. And the next class, we'll start with the next topic, which is average and weighted average. Okay, thank you. Yes, Jaswant, you are correct.